So in this video, I want to talk to you about how to focus and prevent procrastination. I know this is an issue that I would say 85 or 90% of my students have, and when I do research, and this is a issue that keeps coming up that they don't know how to solve or how to fix. And in my opinion, developing focus and preventing procrastination is easy as long as you're willing to put in a little willingness or little effort on how to solve it. And I noticed that many students actually really don't care about solving the procrastination issue. They just like to report it and try to say that they have this issue, but they don't really do anything about it. They don't create a plan or system to help them with that. So that's what I'm going to be talking to you about today, is essentially showing you what I do to help students with procrastination, and how I got over procrastination in my life. Okay. So one of the things that I notice about procrastination is that we procrastinate when we don't know what to do, right? We have no idea what to do. We get affected by our past and our future. So we don't know, don't know, in my opinion, we don't know what to do about our procrastination, or we don't know what to do, even do about what need to do for our exams. Like, nobody tells us how to study, nobody tells us what we need to focus on. So in my opinion, we procrastinate because we are actually unsure um, on what to study. But the issue is that, instead of, when we don't know what to do, our mind goes to the future and goes to the past to try to solve the issue of not knowing what to do, right? So, and that can cause fear and anxiety, um, sometimes misery and things like that, because instead of doing the work you need to do to feel better, you're doing things that brings you negative feelings, right? And these negative feelings are known as, sometimes as, procrastination, because these negative feelings is why you do not want to proceed with doing what you want to do, because every time you do something, it just reminds you of your past or the future, if that's what your mind has been, right? So that's one of the things that I tell people, focus on really identifying the tasks that you need to do, rather than trying to focus on getting a specific outcome. I know that many people, when they think about the exam, they think about failure a lot, right? Instead of doing what they need to do well, because they don't know what to do well, right? They don't know what to do. They focus about failure and what happened if they fail. So it might prevent you from taking action altogether, right? So that's why I really want you to focus on identifying one task each day that you will complete, right? And I say, start with the most enjoyable and the easiest task you can do, right? And this applies for every time you study, actually, not when you're procrastinating and things like that. One of the main things that I feel that my students become very successful is because I get them to start with what they love to study and what is easiest to study, right? Either one, right? But finding the things that are most enjoyable, I notice that people like to come back to it over and over again. So what I recommend you do, you start with the most enjoyable study tasks. If you have that created, the best place for you to take a look at this is essentially your study plan. In your study plan, you will see the tasks that you have to do, right? And then you take these tasks and you find the easiest that one you can do, and you start working on them, right? This is why I always say, it's also very good idea to create a study plan or some sort of a system that you can keep coming back and refer to when you know what you need to study for. So if you haven't created the study plan already for your exam, I would say create one right away, right? So you start to see what are the tasks that you need to do, and then focus on the tasks that you find most enjoyable or easiest or most relevant to you for your work or for your school, whatever you are interested in, that you care for mostly, right? This is one of the things that I would say. Another thing I would tell you to do is create a master task list and add and keep track of all the tasks that you're doing. This is separate from the study plan that I've told you. This is essentially for more like a running list of things that you need to complete each day, right? You don't need to, worry about, like, you need to spend a lot of time and tasks and things like that, like add a lot of tasks and things like that. The focus should be to really add tasks that you can complete within 45 to 1 hour period, right? So one of the tasks I have is create a video called how to focus and prevent procrastination. And in that task, all I have to do essentially is, I have already created the slide, right? I had another task called create the slide, how to focus and prevent procrastination, right? And then the second task I had, create a video on how to focus and prevent procrastination, right? Another task I would say, upload the video to YouTube as another task that I will add, right? These are the things that I can add, and these are the way I break it down, right? Sometimes it might take a lot less time than 45 minutes. Sometimes it might take a lot longer, right? And that's okay. The key thing is to finding the most enjoyable task that you can do, or easiest task, and then start with that, and start adding that to your master task list, right? And in the master task, I will show you, and I'll give you a template actually what I created. It has essentially, three areas, right? Soon essentially the ones that basically I'm working on right now. Later, essentially later, the ones that I still want to do, I'm thinking about them, I'm still thinking whether I need to do it, so I put it on later section. And I have another section called completed. Basically, I copy or cut and paste everything that is done from the soon section onto the completed section. So I only have three sections, but this really helps me to see what I need to do right away, soon, what I need to do later, what I need to do, what I completed essentially. And I continually look at this task all the time, bring tasks from study plan to this, so I know exactly what I need to complete, and when I need to complete it, right? You can add things like, due dates and things like that. I don't, it's up to you, to be honest, but what I would say, keep it simple. Create a master task list that you will add for studying. You can add things like workout, exercise, go groceries, go do groceries, right? Things like that on your master task list, so to keep you track. Even things like paying bills, right? You can feel free to add, because this is only for you, and this is will really tell you what are the things you need to do, without worrying about it. And one of the another things I realize is that our thoughts and beliefs comes as emotions, right? So when they come as emotion, these thoughts of what we need to do and all that, it might overwhelm you, because the emotion, and make you feel bad because of the amount of emotion that you're experiencing right away. So the best way to prevent that is basically, put these thoughts or put these ideas onto Excel or onto piece of paper, and see if this is something that you need to actually do or worry about, right? When you see it in paper or in a screen, it takes that emotional aspect of it away, and then put it on something that you can see. Think of your mind is like an alarm clock that telling you to do things at a different times, right? Don't take it as something that is punishing you, that you need to wrestle with, right? It's not like that. Think of your mind is trying to help you and remind you the things that you want to always accomplish, right? So it's coming back and reminding you, do you want to do this still? It's there, it has emotions, it has energy, right? Do you want to do this? So instead of worrying about, um, like keeping in all your head, put it on paper, put it on a master task list, put it on your later section if you have to, right? Put it on somewhere that it's not in your head. You can see if there's something that you really need to work on if you wish, right? So this is something I recommend you do. The other aspect of this is that to help you prevent procrastination and help you focus, is that you need to start thanking yourself for the effort and the work you complete, or the work you started with. Because it's not always easy to complete the tasks you start. It takes some time, but you need to learn to appreciate and thank yourself for the effort you do take and you do put out, no matter how much, how little the effort was, how little the work was, right? The key thing is to appreciate. So I always, when I create a code, when I create a video, when I end up finishing like a study task, I always say thank you, thank you for myself, because sometimes I haven't been doing it right. So I thank my body for giving me the opportunity to do it with me and without giving me issues, right? And instead, I thank my body for helping me with it and doing what I need to do to feel a little bit better about what I need to do for my future and my now and my past, right? So this is the way I look at it. Make sure that you do take time to thank yourself, no matter how little the effort that you put in. Okay, very, very, very important stuff. This is very important if you actually want to focus and prevent procrastination. Your body needs to know when it's doing things right. Okay, this is why I'm telling you. And also, the next aspect is take time to enjoy your life, right? It's one thing to work, 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 and continue working to get a result, but if you don't take the time to enjoy, you cannot create that space to see what you need to do the right way, right? One of the things I said that when I was in university, I in the first when I would start studying, I would make sure that I would do maybe a few hours of studying, and then I would actually go and play basketball or watch a movie, right? I took time to enjoy my life, but I also started my studying a lot earlier, because you know what I mean, because I knew if I were to start studying for my exams, like for university exams especially, at least 14 days or 21 days earlier, like we actually started to gather the material and started to focus on doing the easy tasks. That helped me to look forward to the start studying. And I took my time to enjoy my life. I hanged around with my friends, I talked to them, I essentially did what I wanted to do in my life, because I started earlier and because I knew what I needed to do each time I sat down, right? So take the time to do enjoy your life. It is important for you to focus and prevent procrastination, because you will see that you will start to be able to create a sense of anticipation when you're taking the time to enjoy it. When you come back to the studying, you'll be like, oh man, like you will see when you enjoy it, you will think about even studying that, what, I would love to get this done now. I would love to do this now. So this will really help with like um, focus and procrastination, right? And I'll tell you a little story where I really, before I started to create these videos, right? I wanted to create them, but I would always procrastinate, right? So what I did was I would, start with the easiest thing for me, which was create the slides, right? But once I created the slides, and then I was thinking, oh man, it'd be good to create these videos. But what happened was, I actually took the time to enjoy. I invited my friends, and I took a couple of days. I think couple of days to really come back to doing the videos. And in that time, I was anticipating, how I will be creating them, and even just thinking about how it feels to create them, right? So taking that time really helped me to look forward to doing it and create that anticipation and keep coming back to it, right? And when I do it, I appreciated myself, thank myself, and then I was really happy about the little work, or however the work that came out, right? So I just appreciated that. So that was kind of the process I went through when I was creating these videos. So you know like I said, like focus and procrastination doesn't need to be a debilitating issue if you kind of understand what is happening, right? Focus on, again, like I said, finding one task that you find enjoyable and go with it, and it will make your life a lot easier. Okay, I'll see you on the next video.